Friends, welcome back to the Brave New Wear Show. My name's Christian, and welcome back to the Advanced Aesthetic series. Give yourselves a round of applause. You've made it. Today, I am wearing a Bottega Veneta pre-fall 2020 sweater. This was a gift for me for my recent birthday, and admittedly, I don't wear it enough. It is, without a doubt, it's a very cool piece. Hopefully I'm showing you on body figures right now. Give you kind of an idea about like what it's like and what it feels like. It is a knit that is extremely heavyweight, like a very heavyweight kind of sweater feel. It's a dark, maybe kind of like chocolate brown. It has sleeves that are a little elongated. It's a little elongated in the body, and I kind of usually wear it a little kind of rolled up so it comes to my waist. And the most kind of iconic quality of it is this woven design. It has a panel. See, like if I wasn't wearing a t-shirt right now, you would just see my bod. And this kind of woven material makes it almost like, not like a patchwork, but kind of signature to Bottega Veneta, and especially what Daniel Lee was doing at the house. So it's definitely an item that I think is super cool. I also think it's really cool to have a piece of that legacy, kind of. I think Daniel Lee's work at Bottega Veneta was really interesting, and this is one of the first collections that he designed for.
Food in the 7 Seas.
There I am, Gary, there I am.
And it's cool having that kind of item in my wardrobe, but I'm not taking it out enough. I'm not wearing it enough, which is why I wanted to talk about the idea of avant garde pieces and how we wear them or incorporate them in our wardrobes in general. The phrase avant garde gets thrown around a lot, and in this video, what I'm kind of referring to is a garment or accessory that is very much not prototypical. I think there is a lot of high fashion that is still very cool, highly designed, very fashionable, but maybe not necessarily avant-garde. I would consider this piece avant-garde because it's very peculiar in a certain way. It doesn't really look or fit like a normal sweater, and there are a lot of items that might kind of fit that bill, where they might be some kind of like normal X garment, but they are designed, cut, they look and appear in a way that is completely unusual for what you might typically expect. And while that's super exciting, and especially for fashion enthusiasts, whoa, we want pieces that are really different and really unusual, you might find that they're hard to wear. And that's definitely something that I experienced with this item. To begin with, it's literally hard to wear. I mean, it's literally hard to get on. Here is me trying to put it on. I try to put it on the hanger the right way, quote unquote, because if you don't, it's just hard to make heads or tails of. This thing can get tangled in itself. This is what I mean. It's literally hard to wear. But, I mean, that's the price to pay. It's like, it costs a lot of money to look this good. And it costs a lot of mental energy. That's not right. Yeah. And the other component of it is that it is in a dark brown, which most of my clothes are, if anything, black. So kind of like a color thing. I don't care that much about that. I'm more into silhouettes and textures, but worth noting. It's also very heavy. It would be the kind of piece that maybe I would wear over a big coat, and I would have to because of kind of how it's cut. It needs to go over a big coat, but because of global warming, it's not that cold in New York, so the opportunities are limited. There's just a handful of reasons why this is kind of peculiar and different. And if you're thinking about buying avant-garde pieces, or I don't know, you're struggling like me, I have kind of some words of wisdom in terms of thinking about it. What settings, events, places, etc. would you wear this item? Assuming that you're looking at something that is truly unusual, it's probably very eye-catching, and there might be circumstances where it's appropriate and inappropriate. I encourage everyone to dress however they want, but frankly, you might have a job where that's impossible. You might have a school where you're not allowed to do that. You might have a lifestyle where you're not. If it's, say, like a really bizarre avant-garde, I don't know, formal wear, ask yourself, how many times am I gonna pull this out? If it's something that is very seasonal, you know, be perfectly honest with how often is it hot or cold where you live. I think that it's worth asking, kind of like putting yourself in the place of, if I bought this piece, where exactly would it be featured? As much as we'd love to just wear whatever we want all the time, usually there's a time and place. Question number 2, what other items or accessories would you pair that avant-garde piece with? You see something really cool, bizarre, interesting, you might have like an impulse to just grab it, but it makes sense to look at something that is truly avant-garde and ask yourself, do I have other pieces that go with this? Do I have other pieces that make sense in a full outfit with this item? And that could be, maybe you're asking yourself, do I have other bizarre avant-garde items to complement this? Or do I have maybe neutral, muted, more basic items that would allow it to stand out? Question number 3, and I think this is a really kind of interesting or relevant one. With this avant-garde item, would you be embarrassed if X person saw you wearing it? This is maybe more of a psychological question. If you're looking at something that's really avant-garde, really different or unusual, would you be embarrassed if your boss, your mom, your dad, your best friend, your dog, people on the internet saw you wearing it?
Chief, I found Parker.
Could you pay me in advance?
You serious? Pay for what? Standing there?
If the answer is yes, what's wrong with you? No, if the answer is yes, I think it's worth kind of evaluating or analyzing. If you feel embarrassed around people you know, love, interact with in a really bizarre piece, you might be, you know, you might not be kind of mature or developed or even ready to kind of show that side to that type of person. It's totally reasonable if you have pieces that you do want to wear for one occasion, but you don't want other people seeing you in them. It doesn't make you like bad if you don't want your boss to see you in garment X or you'd be embarrassed, but I think it's a relevant thing to kind of ask yourself before you pull the trigger. You spent all this money on something and now you're afraid to wear it in case you ran into your crush or something. Another kind of quality, and this is kind of like a buying guide, but I think it's relevant. Could you wait a day before purchasing it? Could you wait a week? Could you wait a year? If you could at least put some time in between you discovering the item and you purchasing the item, I think you'll have a better chance of actually evaluating its relevance or value in your wardrobe. If you feel like after a day you wouldn't wear it or you didn't want to buy it, I mean, kind of dodging a bullet. It could be super compelling to just immediately pick something up, especially if it's so unusual and cool and bizarre. But you know, you gotta be ready. Your body needs to be prepared to actually start wearing pieces that are more avant-garde. Question number blank is this the only, say, avant-garde piece in your wardrobe? And if it is, are you cool with that? I remember hearing this kind of conversation around like dark avant-garde and like Rick Owens back in the day, but people would say stuff on forums like, I would buy X, but I have nothing to wear it with. And like a lot of people would argue that Rick pieces, you need the full look in order to like embody the lifestyle, in order to pull it off. I don't necessarily think that's true with Rick or maybe even any Avant Garde piece, but it is something worth considering. If you're picking up an Avant Garde piece, you can have the intention of building a collection or wardrobe around pieces. You can say like, this is unlike everything else in my wardrobe. I might not necessarily have anything that's like it right now, but I intend to build a wardrobe around it. And that's totally chill and dope. But all of that to say, that's not any reason not to buy an Avant Garde piece. Hell, you can decide to go ahead and buy an Avant Garde piece even if you don't plan on wearing it a lot or at all. It is totally cool to collect things simply to have them, to admire them, to talk to people who do not want to hear about it, to make a collection. It's not a horrendous or stupid thing to collect things and admire them simply for the sake of having them. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Is there kind of a quality about wearing Avant Garde pieces that I've left out? Is there something like do you have a confession to make? You want to make it in the comments down below about your embarrassing moment where your principal saw you in your Craig Green like outfit and then you went to detention or something? Let me know in the comments down below. And the last kind of most important thing I would say in this video is be proud, you know? Don't be intimidated. If you love something, even if it's so crazy and bizarre and weird, be proud and eager to wear it out. If you're feeling shy or embarrassed or unsure, I promise you the more that you do it, the less embarrassed or shy you're going to start to feel. Even if you get bullied for it, take it from me, that starts to wear off. I strongly encourage anybody who's thinking about it, who's ready to pull the trigger, who maybe has the Avant Garde piece but hasn't gotten the courage to actually wear it. Pulling things off, it's a myth. You can pull anything off if you are confident in yourself. And I know confidence isn't something you can buy at the local bodega, but it's something that, like any other skill, you develop. And the only way to develop it is by trying, by going out there, embarrassing yourself, and picking yourself back up, and doing it again, and showing people that you weren't just avant-garde for a day, you're avant-garde for life. And I'll catch you guys later.